Good morning, everyone. This is Riley with Midwest Market Management, bringing you our Thursday, July 23rd rendition of U.S. weather from a national yield perspective. Everybody's just stuck with me again here today, but important weather stuff going on and definitely impacting the markets over the last week. So with that said, let's dive into why. So first thing I got, U.S. drought monitor map. Comparing last week's to this week's, I'd like to point out very, very minimal to no changes were made. The one to really start watching is next week, that western belt, especially South Dakota to southwest Minnesota. I'm expecting to see a lot more color starting to perk up in those areas. So need to watch that close. But with that said, there still is a lot of drought going on at this stage in the game. And the last 10 days that have passed and the 10 days coming forward are showing that there's going to be more color showing up on the map than less. So let's keep moving here. Getting into actual U.S. Real temperature and precip maps here. Starting out 1 to 5 day temperatures. I'm not going to say excruciatingly hot, but for end of July, very, very normal temperatures for this time of year. Eastern belt actually pretty cool, highs in the low 80s, but as you get into the central growing area and then to the west, it gets hotter and hotter. And the eastern belt right now is getting exactly what they want. They're fairly well watered and they're getting cool temperatures to help generate good growth and at the same time not stress out the plant too much, whether you're no matter what crop you're talking about. Here in the central belt, conditions are still solid as a whole. If you see good to excellent ratings have been improving in Illinois and Iowa over the last 10 days. Not to a point yet where there's much crop stress, but I think if you put another 2 to 3 weeks without any rain, there's going to be some guys really starting to question what their yields could be. So, and then if you flick it all the way to the western belt, they've been upper 80s, 90s, 100-degree temperatures now for multiple weeks, and they were dry to begin this stretch, haven't had enough rain to help them out, and they're just continuing to dry up. So everybody's already been aware that that's the storyline, but temperatures are saying that they're going to be warm again for the next 1 to 5 and moving ahead 6 to 10 as well. So no reason to think that it's coming to an end anytime soon is the moral to the story. So one other thing to note is the 6 to 10 day is putting, I wouldn't say severe heat, but a little bit higher averages throughout the entire corn belt as we're turning the calendar into August. So moving ahead here, 1 to 5 day precip, you can see there's some small spotty chances that have been added into the mix. The one pattern that has been in the forecast now for a while and has moved into the front 1 to 5 is this rain cutting through Nebraska, southern Iowa, and southern Illinois. That pattern, it's shifted a lot in where it was going to end up, but at this point it has been confirmed there's at least going to be some kind of rain pattern coming through on that. Amounts and what comes with it, we'll have to wait and see. But get outside of that, not a whole lot of rain being shown in the 1 to 5. And as we move into the 6 to 10, that same area getting a little bit more rain. So Nebraska getting a lot of help, definitely a good thing for them. And Wisconsin in the 6 to 10 showing them to get some rains and moving into eastern Minnesota. Definitely areas that need the rain, and by August, they're definitely going to be happy if they get it. And if they don't, there's going to be some real drought concerns in those regions starting to pop up too. Talking to a lot of people in that central Wisconsin area, they're in some pretty good need of rain there as well. So, but getting to the elephant of the room, if you notice the 1 to 5 and the 6 to 10, South Dakota doesn't have a whole lot of chances of rain, and neither does North Dakota. If you look at numbers, South Dakota is the number 5 corn producing state, and the Dakotas are both very, very large soybean producing states. So seeing that dry forecast along with hot temperatures up there and crops that are already starting to show a good amount of stress, There's your storyline, guys. It's pretty cut and dry and simple. From a national yield perspective, this is definitely causing an impact for those areas, and yields are being lowered. So as of right now, your trend line yields are listed as your corn and bean national yields, and definitely starting to have the thought process of taking away from those numbers. Could you see in reports going forward a 183 turns into a 182 or a 181? I think that's very possible. It doesn't sound like a lot. A bushel move doesn't seem like much, but in terms of what that can do to the carry out and what that causes the market to do, it's a lot bigger deal than you might realize. So uh, definitely good things happening there, and the markets have clearly reflected it. We've been on a strong rally now for the last 2 weeks in corn, beans, and wheat. So really good things happening there. And on the bean side too, I want to point out these areas are having enough stress that if no rain is going to materialize, a 1 to 2 bushel move in beans is a huge deal. Got to remember, a bean carryout is a lot smaller than a corn carryout in terms of total bushels. So impacting yield by as much as a bushel can be a game changer for the soybean market. So going ahead, we're just going to have to watch and see what happens. Maybe some rains start to materialize and the patterns shift, but as of right now, the thought of drought concerns and real crop issues are here. So one thing that is different, I threw in today the 1 to 13 again. The 10 to 13 has a good amount of rainfall in the forecast, including, as you can see, some rain chances in the Dakotas, Minnesota, and pretty much across the board except for the Eastern Belt. So I'm really curious to see what the 6 to 10 day looks like when we get back on Monday and do this report on Tuesday, how much of a difference it's made and if the market's noticed it too. But as of right now, there's definitely a weather storyline that is helping to generate bullish thoughts in the markets. But I would say from a national yield perspective, if you look towards the Eastern Belt, Central Illinois, Iowa as well, crops look good. So outside of that Western Belt, crop potential is very, very high. So we're just going to have to see how that plays out. And from a national yield perspective, what really starts to happen from the reports and what people are going to say. So with that said, that is it. That's all the maps I have today. I appreciate everyone tuning in. This has been Riley with Midwest Market Management. Hope everyone has a good weekend. Thank you.